Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. As you can see, we are not, I'm not in my room today or in my house today, but we are actually in the youth room this morning. Hopefully this will be becoming a norm and hopefully soon I'll actually get to see your faces in this room while I'm teaching. So that'd be pretty nice. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hope for those of you who have started school, whether in person or virtual, that things are going well. Hope you've kind of gotten acclimated to it. I know Sophie has had 2 days so far, one at the school, one online. Both went pretty well. So I think hopefully this means it will be good for the rest of the year. And I'm praying for you guys and loving you guys too. So this is our second week of our series about loving like Jesus. We're looking at how Jesus loves others and how he loves us. But we're also looking at how we can end up loving others through the example that Jesus gave us. So we're glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're watching this with us today because God is going to use what we learned here in changing, our community and our schools and things like that through authentic love, just like Jesus. So have you ever had a moment where you didn't realize someone was actually talking to you? It probably went something like this. Like you were walking through the mall and someone looked at you and said, "Hey," to you, and they didn't ask if you had some time to test their products, but instead they just kind of like jumped right in front of you and started offering their product for you to try. Yes, I'm talking about those little booths at the mall where they would try to pawn their items off on you, and we not realize at first that they're talking to us, or we may pretend that we didn't hear them and we're just trying to look around them. We look over our shoulder to see if anyone else is in the proximity, but when no one is around, we realize, we're trapped, we're stuck. So they bring their nail polish over to test on your nails, even if you're a guy sometimes. I know at one time I got grabbed by a dude testing hand, I think it was salt, to make my hands all smooth. They grab you, I don't care who you are, they're gonna grab you and try to sell you their stuff. So now, while this may not have happened to all of us, we can think of a time when someone has kind of called us out and grabbed us and got our attention. So we're going to look at a time in Jesus' life when he had a conversation with a Samaritan woman, which was very surprising to her. Jews at this time in history refused to be associated with the Samaritans. So Jesus taking time to pursue a woman that was a Samaritan, which is completely out of the ordinary. So we're going to read about this. This is John chapter 4, verses 4 to 10. And it says, "He had to travel through Samaria. So he came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the property that Jacob had given his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, worn out from his journey, sat down at the well. It was about noon. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. 'Give me a drink,' Jesus said to her, because his disciples had gone into town to buy food. 'How is it that you, a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a Samaritan woman?' she asked him. For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. Jesus answered, 'If you knew the gift of God and who is saying to you, "Give me a drink," you would ask him, and he would give you living water.'" So there you go. So our first point today is we need to sit with and pursue others. See, Jesus is walking from Judea to get to Galilee. And along the way, Jesus decides to have a walk through Samaria. When he gets to this area, he wants to take a break. So he stops at a well near a small village. While there, this woman comes to the well to draw some water. Jesus sees this woman and asks her for a drink. This woman thinks Jesus has gone crazy. She's so confused that a Jew would even be saying a word to her, let alone asking her to get him a drink. So when she responds by asking him, why is he asking for her to get him a drink? He tells her, if you only knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water. Jesus, could get Jesus tells her that, If she believes in the purpose that God has for her, then she could get a living water that Jesus offers for us, all of us, when we come to be in a relationship with him. In this story, Jesus sits and sees this lady. He probably notices that she's lonely and needs someone to show value to her. He takes the time to talk to her. He sits to rest. But he also sits to pursue the lost. And in this case, this is the woman at the well. We know that she was someone who probably was some of outcast for the sheer fact that she's getting water in the middle of the day when it's the hottest out. Most people at that time, they got their water in the early morning or late at night when it was cool. So the fact that she knew that most people were going to be gone at this time, and that's when she was doing, it kind of shows that she was someone who was not a popular person in her area. So in our lives, we need to be like Jesus. When you're at school and you notice that a kid is eating lunch by himself, what do you think you should do? I think you guys know the answer to that. You can sit with them and get to know them. You can talk to them and let them know that they belong to someone, not someone being God. Jesus did that all throughout his ministry. He pursued the lost and the outcast and people that nobody else wanted to deal with. He showered them with love and help them to see that they have value. Could you imagine if you moved to a brand new school and someone actually came up to you and pursued you? They sat at your table at lunch. They, and ate with you, and they got to know you. That kind of love, it just completely changes people, and it's attractive. By that, I mean it spreads to other people. Others see that and they begin to pursue those who are by themselves. You could change an entire school by showing others, regardless of who they are, that they just belong. So, our second thing I want to talk about here is we need to bring the elephant in the room out in others. So, this is John chapter 4, verses 17 and 18. It says, "I don't have a husband," she answered. "You have correctly said, 'I don't have a husband,'" Jesus said, "for you've had 5 husbands, and the man you now have is not your husband. What you have said is true." See, Jesus brings out the truth from this person's life. Do you know how to tell when someone is truly a great friend? Think about this just for a second. Let me challenge you by saying, that a true friend is someone who brings out the elephant in the room in your life. For example, imagine, you've been talking down to people and a friend brings you aside and says, "Dude, what are you doing?" Or "Why are you acting this way? What's going on?" They're doing this because they know you and they know that the person that you're being is not the person who you really are. The Samaritan woman had been divorced 5 times and was living with a man that she wasn't married to right now. To live that way, Jesus, calls us to live the way that Jesus calls us to. We need, the elephant in the room needs to be just called out, just said. In this case, it's, the woman is living with a man she wasn't married to. How does this affect her? It affects her because she is living in a home in a way that is outside of God's design or God's creation for the home. The home is a place that is meant for a husband and a wife, not a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or even say fiancés, for a husband and a wife. So if you're wondering, the big deal of why it's not a good idea for people to live together before they're married, listen here, some stats for you. There's a 33% chance higher that people that live together before marriage will get a divorce than those who live separately. 33% higher. That's 1/3%. 1/3 higher. There's a 20% chance that couples who live separately before marriage will get a divorce within the first 5 years of marriage. Listen close to this. Those numbers jump up to 49% when you live together before marriage. So the marriage rate goes, you have a 20% chance of getting divorced if you live separately, and almost 50% chance if you live together before you get married. Wow. And people think that it's a good idea. I don't understand it. So Why does it matter that you live separately before marriage? It matters because it's obviously, statistically, that it was meant for couples to live separately until they are joined together in marriage. It just makes sense. So in this story, Jesus brings that up because he wants the Samaritan woman to live to the full potential that he knows she has. When we truly want to live deep into our purpose, we need to, clear everything out. That's weighing us down. Like, empty that book bag that's weighing you down. Take that weight off of you. Clear it out. We should also want to help others, clear theirs out, because that's what great friends do. That's how we need to love one another. Just as Jesus does with this woman, we are called to love people, and sometimes that requires us to just call things what they are, call people out. So, next one. Once we are changed, we get to help change others. When we are deeply impacted by Jesus' love, we get to show them that love. Later on, the Samaritan woman does this, and it's still chapter 4 of John, but this is 39 through 42. It says, now many Samaritans from that town believed in him because of what the woman said when she testified. He told me everything I ever did. So when the Samaritans came to him and they asked him to stay with them, and he stayed there 2 days, many more believed because of what he said. And they told the woman, "We no longer believe because of what you said, since we have heard for ourselves and know that this really is the Savior of the world." So the Samaritan woman tells lots of people in the village about Jesus because she was changed by him. She used her changed heart to show others Jesus. We need to do the same. We need to be willing to go out there and do the same thing. After we've completely changed by Jesus, it should fire us up to tell other people about him. We should be motivated to jump out. I hope that, after this morning, that you feel led to show people God's love because it has changed you. Here's the thing. Once we tell others about Jesus, we need to keep on pouring into them. The people in the Samaritan village want Jesus to stay. And he does for a couple days. He doesn't just book it out there. He stays more than he was planning to. I think he does this because he knows that to produce life change in these people, he has to continue pouring into them, about this incredible love that he has. When we are changed, we need to let others know about the great love that changed us. If we just briefly tell someone about it once, it won't have a high chance of really affecting them. But if we pursue them and we continue to pour into them and just love on them, then there's a greater chance that it will. This isn't something that you want to completely overload someone with, but because we might spook them out from ever checking Jesus out. But if you tell others your story and you continue to love them for who they are as Jesus would love them, then the day will come when they are truly ready to hear what you have to say about Jesus. God doesn't call us to convert people and walk away. He calls us to create disciples, and that involves work and love and just being with people and living life with people and loving on them. So I hope that, if you go out there and you start talking to people about Jesus, it's not just, I call it, the tract gospel, where we just hand out a tract to someone and say, read this, and then walk away. But instead, you invest in them and you love on them and show people, because Jesus does that for us. Jesus didn't come to earth, do his ministry, and then leave and then never do anything. Yeah, he left, but he left his Holy Spirit with us to continue to work on us and to guide us and move us forward. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be where we are. So your friends who need to hear about Jesus, they still need you to continually pour into them, even if they've made that decision. So with that, I love you guys. I hope you're having a great time. Like I said, I'm currently in the youth room. What I'm hoping to do is I'm actually going to include a video of the room to kind of show you guys what's going on, because coming up, we are going to have our first Wednesday night is this Wednesday. Part of it will be outside, some of it will be inside in this room, so get excited for that. And in the next couple weeks, we are going to start having youth Sunday school back. We will be in here, so I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what the room looks like, so stick around for that. But until then, I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great rest of your week. Do well in school, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, just wanted to show you what the new youth room looks like. I know some of you have been able to see it, but some of you haven't. So for those of you who are wondering, hey, what's the new room look like? Let me show you. So it's down the hall here. I'm excited to say that we actually have a big hallway now, which is pretty cool to think about. But we're all the way down the hall, and I hope you guys are excited, because I know I am to use it. So let's go. All right, so hi, you can see me. So over here, this is gonna be the junior high side of it on Sunday mornings. We have some pretty sweet stuff in here already, with some more cool stuff to come. Hopefully look over to here for potential for a video game station. No, I'm sorry, Sunday mornings you cannot play video games instead of participate in Sunday school. You're gonna have to deal with that. But we will have an air hockey table, which does work and actually has some pretty sweet sound to it. Over here we're looking to have some TVs, another TV installed for lessons and videos and things like that for junior high side. Storage cabinet, the old cross, the hula hoops. I know you guys have been wondering what's going to happen with the hula hoops. Well, they're here. Don't worry, we didn't lose any of them. And we're also going to have a foosball table. So over here is where we're going to have our little area for snacks and drinks and things like that. I'm still looking into potentially having a Keurig, maybe. We're not sure yet. We're looking into that. But we got devotionals, we got Bibles, we got sweet little stuff like that. We got a little hockey game over here, our awesome Bose speaker, microwave, refrigerator, all the stuff that you would need. So this is the senior high side over here, guys, for Sunday morning. We got couches for a place to relax. We got games here. And for those of us who just need some extra time just to relax, we got coloring books. Don't worry about that. We all need coloring books. More storage stuff. And then our TV is over here that we had, again, for lessons and things like that. So just to let you guys know how this is going to work, on Sunday mornings, this wall right here will be closed. It covers up the whole way. So then we'll have a junior high side of the room and a senior high side of the room. We turn into like one big room into two rooms. And then on Wednesday nights, the room will be wide open. So this whole room will be yours to use, and the plan is for during the week for this thing to be this to be a place for where you guys can come after school. If you just need a place to hang out, relax, sit on a couch, talk, play a game, watch a movie, things like that. If you need somewhere just to go instead of being at home, or for another place where you can do homework, need help like that, we're here to guide you guys, help you out. So that's the plan for it in the future. As for right now, I know I said Sunday mornings we're going to be split, but for right now, when Sunday school starts, we'll still be wide open. We're going to have a combined Sunday school, so I hope that we'll still be able to be together. That way we can socially distance. We do ask you still wear your mask when you're in Sunday school, but that's not that big of a deal. So, all right. So now that you guys have seen the room and seen some of the stuff, I hope that it gets you a little more excited to hang out with us soon. Don't worry. I know that the walls look kind of bare. Decorations are in. We're looking at when we're going to hang those up, but hopefully it'll be soon. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great day, great night, great whatever this time is you're looking at this video, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. All right, bye.